This is LiveWell Talk on the GLP-1 Catalyst Program. I'm Dr. Dustin Arnold, Chief Medical Officer at UnityPoint Health, St. Luke's Hospital. With increased use of GLP-1 medications for weight loss, UnityPoint Healthy Living Clinic saw a need for a special program dedicated to individuals who use these types of medications. Returning the podcast to talk about this is Nichole Lucas, a dietitian with the Healthy Living Clinic, and also joining us today is Gracie Cheville, a health coach at Healthy Living Clinic. Gracie, welcome. Nichole, welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
So, it's interesting that just how these have taken off, and all these indications keep added on, and my scientific brain says, is this just because it causes such weight loss? I think we probably talked about it previously when you're on. You can weigh 400 pounds, you lose 25 pounds, you might be off your metformin, right? Because that's your thermostat. Somebody else has to lose 100 pounds. And so I don't know if the benefit's that, but let's just start out. I think this is a very interesting topic, and it'll be well received. Tell me about this Catalyst program for the GLP-1s.
Yeah, so it's similar in a lot of different ways to our other programs that we offer. But one thing that we focused on a little bit is emphasizing a little bit more like how can we support patients through taking these GLP-1 medications. So anyone can technically join our Catalyst program, whether you're taking a medication or not, because we teach a lot of the same things: nutrition, exercise, healthy lifestyle habits. But with Catalyst, it's a little more flexible. All of patients will have a one-time orientation with either Gracie or myself. But after this orientation, they kind of filter into our classes. They'll have 11 classes covering a variety of different healthy living topics. They can be attended in person or virtually. But this hopefully gives patients a little more flexibility opposed to our other 20-week programs that have a hard start and stop date.
Have you seen a good response to the GLP-1s?
Yes. Every patient's a little different. I can never guarantee two people are going to do the same thing.
It's interesting that if you're on them for diabetes, they have less weight loss.
Everybody's body is a little bit different.
And
so
they had less weight loss, and also they did not have as significant of delayed gastric emptying going to have surgery. So there was like 20,000 diabetics. There was no concern with them having surgery on that.
Yeah.
Non-diabetics, you can talk to the GI guys up in the endo lab. They see people with like 2 days worth of food and still in their stomach if they're non-diabetic and taking this.
Yeah. I definitely think that their metabolic health plays a role in that, as far as like how metabolically busted you are. And when you have insulin resistance like a diabetic does, and all those things factor in, I definitely think that plays a role in how the GLP-1 affects them.
Because it stimulates the incretin that causes insulin release. Well, if you're insulin resistant, maybe it doesn't work the same as if you're a non-diabetic without resistance.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
You're fine. But we started this program back in January to help give that support to those who are taking these medications or maybe looking to take these medications. We really just want to help everyone, whether they're taking the medication or not.
What do you do anything to help with the cost? These are very expensive medications.
So our program,
crazy expensive.
We do not, but we know that once people stop taking these medications, they're likely to see weight regain if they haven't made those lifestyle changes. So we want to kind of help make that cost of the medication worth their time. How do we establish those healthy habits so if the medication does go away, you can still see those health benefits?
Right.
Also, I just had a conference last week that if you stop them for an extended period of time, 2 to 3 weeks, and then restart it, that you might have more intense gastrointestinal symptoms when you restart. So that's something you can tell your patients.
Yeah.
Because I know some of them, and I'll ask both of you, either one, Gracie, if you want to answer it. Because some patients are like taking it weekly, they lose weight, and then it's every other week, then it's once a month. They're trying to extend it. Right. And I think we just need to counsel those patients that you might have more intense GI upset.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably how you would say it in all of the medical industry with any kind of prescription we give, just
Absolutely.
educating them on what are the side effects, what could you potentially see, so patients can make those educated decisions for themselves. I have not seen the research as far as like the gastrointestinal issues when they go off and go back on, but with the human body, it becomes accustomed to certain stimuli, and when it keeps coming in, eventually it doesn't respond to it anymore. So there have been things where you take them off of the GLP-1 and you put them back on, and it's helpful for the body not to constantly be flooded with GLP-1 all the time. But again, there is always side effects when we're taking any kind of peptide hormone medication, things of that nature.
Well, we've talked about the cost and some of the side effects. What are the pros? What are you seeing as, a good response? I mean, independent of weight loss. Anything else?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of good side effects, things that people are healing their bodies, and arthritis and cardiovascular disease, mental health, addiction. Addiction is kind of one of those newer ones that's being studied.
Yeah.
And so far they've been seeing really good things in that area, but there are other benefits to it besides weight loss that people have noticed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the study in Europe that alcohol cravings goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some patients that ask them about that, and they'll say, yeah, I have no desire to drink that.
I've heard it quiets the food noise, is what some patients have told me.
Yes.
Their food noise, the voices, like the cravings have subsided when they're on these medications.
Wow.
Thinking of food very often, that goes away. They're like, I don't think about it all the time. I don't feel the need to like, oh, what's my next meal? What's my next meal?
What about the compounding? What have you heard on that? I mean, you can get everything on the internet, send it right to your house. That's not regulated by the FDA. Have you guys heard any problems with that, or?
You have to have a reliable source.
Yeah.
With these other like compounds, whether it's at a med spa or someone down the street, like you said, the FDA is not regulating it.
Right.
So we personally do not recommend patients to go there. Now, I have seen patients have some success. I've also seen patients have no success. And then also some of the stories that you see in the news, like people having problems with these medications, some of them came from these on FDA approved compounds. So you have to take that with caution. And anytime we're injecting something into our body, I personally want to know where it's coming from, or know that it's a safe compound.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being medically supervised and
quality assurance plan too with it. Yeah, I not only this, it's even some of the erectile dysfunction drugs you see advertised on TV. I'm like, man, I don't know if you ought to be getting that stuff from some doctor you call on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, 80% of the time, probably nothing bad's going to happen. But what if you're in that 20%?
Right. You don't want to be part of that 20%.
Right.
And it's not to say that any of the compounded things are bad, but I mean,
just the uncertainty.
Just uncertainty of it, and medical supervision, of course, that's a benefit of going to the doctor.
So like with your weight programs, your other health coaching phenomenon, what are you seeing as far as patients that take the GLPs? All right, does that eliminate that food noise so they can focus on other things?
Yeah, I can think of a couple patients particularly that they've said that when they stop taking the medication, or when they go back on, like it's immediate, the food noise. And by not having the food noise, they feel like they're able to focus more on making those healthy meals, spacing their meals out throughout the day. They don't want to snack. They're not wanting to grab that cookie or like the processed snacks that they were eating before.
Yeah, they can actually just like focus on life and
Yeah.
be present. Moms being like, I can actually be a mom now, and I can focus on my kids and not worry so much about what's going on inside.
My youngest daughter, who's very fit, she's a college athlete, but like when she was little, she would only eat when she's hungry. And I mean, she might go a whole day and not eat anything.
Yeah.
And the next day, down a huge hamburger, right? And just, and I always thought, I thought that's actually a pretty good eating habit, really.
Yeah.
Eat, if you're not hungry, don't eat. Where breakfast, lunch, supper schedule. It's a lunch break.
Yeah.
It's a supper break,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They find that kids are much more in tune with their like natural hunger and fullness cues than we are as adults, because we've just overridden them so many times.
Yeah, but what would do that kid that says, well, fine, you eat this.
Yeah.
People are starving in China, so we're gonna wrap it up and feed it to you at breakfast.
And
clean your plate.
Just implemented you have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have to have that, but it's not. Listening to your hunger cues doesn't always mean that you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you're in tune with, your circadian rhythm, which kind of plays a role in all of that.
Yeah. Plus, guys, we're full when our stomach hurts. It's not that, right? That's just a guy thing. What is important that people should know about the GLP-1s? I'd like listeners to understand them. And, what should they know before they embark on this? It's a shot.
Yeah.
So people. So that might turn some people off.
Right.
Certainly the pens that are used now pretty easily. It's a lot easier drawn up in a syringe. But what's some other warnings, if you could warn? Or
I always like to tell people, it's not a magic pill. It's a tool to help manage your diabetes, manage your weight loss. We still need patients to make those lifestyle changes, do things in conjunction. Also with the GLP-1 medications, we have seen some loss of lean muscle mass in these participants. So they're having weight loss, but we want that healthy weight loss. We don't want people losing their muscle, their lean muscle mass, because that's going to negatively impact their metabolism, their long-term health. So working with a dietitian or a certified health coach like Gracie can really help you make those positive changes that you need to have that healthy weight loss.
Right, yeah. And I think recently seeing people can demonize the GLP-1. Oh, it's bad. Don't take it. It's bad when it's not used correctly.
Right.
When it's not dosed correctly, when you don't implement the healthy lifestyle behaviors, that's when things can go bad, right? We see that muscle mass loss. Some people get off of it and they're diagnosed with osteoporosis and osteopenia, and they're like, I don't get it. I thought I was healthy and I lost weight. It's great that you lost weight, but with weight loss, you don't know what you lost in those pounds that are gone. Was it muscle mass? Was it your bone mass? Or was it fat loss? Those are two very different types of tissue.
So it's one tool, right? Have you seen a positive response as far as they eliminate the food noise, right? So it gives an opportunity to focus on exercise and maybe good food hygiene and we have our food is so unhealthy for us in this society compared to others, and it's expensive to have healthy food. It's not cheap. But what have you seen? Have you seen a positive result where people not only the GLP-1 plus the program help them? Definitely.
Yeah. Just having that knowledge, that education to back up the weight loss, help them go long term. It's really helpful.
Because it's you don't want to be told to do something and not really understand, why am I doing this? What's the point of that? I want to know, why do I need to do this? Why do I need to implement strength training and increase my protein intake? Why is that? And it's because that's what affects your metabolic health, and that's what is going to help you in the long term with health.
Where can listeners find more about this program? Where should they go?
Patients can go to our website.
Do you have an app?
We do not have an app
yet. That would be great, wouldn't that?
Yeah.
One day, hopefully.
A lot of other people have apps.
Yeah.
We're not as cool.
If you know someone who can develop one.
I don't have an app, but...
but they can go to our website to learn more about the Catalyst program or the other programs that we do offer, or they can call our clinic, 319-298-2200.
You can ask to talk to Nichole or myself.
Do you guys have TikTok reels on weight loss?
No, but
we do have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page, and we put some reels on there. So,
the Cedar Rapids Healthy Living Clinic.
Yes.
So,
well, we encourage listeners.
Yes.
Nichole, Gracie, thank you for joining me and informing our listeners about the Healthy Living Clinic's GLP-1 Catalyst program. Once again, this was dietitian Nichole Lucas and health coach Gracie Cheville with the UnityPoint Healthy Living Clinic. To learn more, visit unitypoint.org. Thank you for listening to LiveWell Talk On. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to spread the word, please give us a 5-star review and tell your family, friends, neighbors, strangers about our podcast. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcast. Until next time, be well.